Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Got the D-Man here, and I am glad you could join me today as always. And today it's a cloudy, cool, somewhat rainy looking day in St. Louis, Missouri. Hope it's great wherever you are in the world. And maybe someday I will be where you are in the world. I love to travel. I have been out of the country over 30 times in my life, but since the COVID, it kind of slowed me down a little bit. But hey, tomorrow's a new day. I'll be traveling again before you know it. I have traveled a few times, but not like I did before. But that's okay. I'm working on this YouTube channel to provide you with value, something that will help you in your life. So right now, that is the most important thing in my life. That is my goal, my mission, my vision. You've got to have a vision, you've got to have a purpose, you've got to have a mission. If not, you will get sidetracked by something less important, which will more than likely leave you empty and unfulfilled. If you're a man, you have to have a vision, a purpose, something that you can obsess over. Not so much that it destroys your health, of course, or your happiness, but actually it'll bring you fulfillment. That is the only way I know that a man can find fulfillment, is in pursuing his purpose. We all came here with a purpose, a mission. There is a reason you are here. You play a part in the giant puzzle, if you like, or the masterpiece painting. You are an important part. You may not feel like you're an important part, but you are. If you weren't here, it would change the whole scheme of history and the world. But you think, how could that be? Nobody even knows who I am. Somebody knows who you are. You have no idea how many people's lives you touch, either in a positive way or a negative way. And the ripple effect, excuse me, the ripple effect. You may influence a person in one way or the other, and they go on to influence someone else who influences someone else ad infinitum. It never ends. It's still going today. If you offended someone years ago, it may still be rippling through life today. Or on the reverse side, if you help someone or encourage someone or help someone get back up one more time, that too has a ripple effect, because that person will go on and pass that on down the road. I remember one of my old mentors telling me one day, I went over there and I was crying and whining about some life situation that I just thought was terrible. And he made me write it down on a piece of paper and take it out to his garden and bury it. And afterwards he says, "You feel better, don't you?" I said, yeah, I do. I thought it was stupid when he told me to do it. But I did. I felt better. I wrote down how I felt about it and I buried it. And he said, well, when you get big and strong like me, you just pass this on to other people like I passed it on to you. And he was right. That's what I do. I pass things on to other people. And that's why I'm here today, to pass on to you what I have learned in 61 years of life. I didn't learn too much when I was younger. I did, but I didn't realize it. It wasn't until later on in life that I was able to look back and use my life experiences to help other people. I had no idea or concept of service. I mean, I worked for money, but I never looked at it like service. I love to work. I still do love to work today. I love to work physically with my hands, and I love to do this. I love to speak to people. I love to inspire people. I love to encourage people. That was the main reason I started this channel, was to help and to inspire people. Now I have my selfish reasons, because by doing that and helping you and inspiring you, it inspires me, it returns to me multiplied many times over. So I get something out of this. Even though these YouTube videos are free, I get something out of this. So the lesson for you is this: whatever you want in life, give it away. Listen to that again. Whatever you want in life, give it away. And you may think, Mark, I don't have anything to give away. You do. You have time. What is more valuable, your time or your money? I'm going to tell you what, when it comes time for you to transition to the other whatever you want to call it, the other side, heaven, um, the other dimension, whatever you think it is, whatever you believe it is, according to your faith, be it unto you. Your belief is what creates your reality here and in the next world, possibly. I'm not sure. I haven't been there yet. One day I will be, and you will be too. I lost my track here. What was the point I'm making? Okay, give it away. Whatever you want in life, give it away. If you want encouragement, if you want to learn, then help someone else learn. Encourage someone else. If you want people to be proud of you, tell other people you're proud of them. And of course, you're kind of doing it for selfish reasons, but don't expect it to come back to you from the very people you give it to. Okay, it always comes back from somewhere else. I think it's okay to expect it to come back because it will come back to you. But just give it for free and for fun. And if you want money, give money away. If you want money, teach other people how to attract money, how to earn money, how to make money. But of course, the only people who actually make money are the people that work in the mint. But we say making money. So teach others how to do this. Okay, if you enrich others, it will enrich you. What I learned about 31 years ago, after living a life of a lot of selfishness, and I ended up alone, was I had only thought of myself. And all the things I had done and the people I had hurt started coming back to me. And they call it karma, they call it reaping what you sow. There are many terms for it. What goes around comes around. And it was a very painful experience. And I reaped that harvest for many years afterwards. It came back to me. What I put out there came back to me for many years. It did. And it was very painful. Not all the time, but off and on. But what I learned from that, and it came back so specifically that I was able to recognize that this is how I had treated people in my past. And this is how they must have felt. So I realized that if it came back to me that perfectly, that that law, the law of the universe, or God's law if you like, must work in the reverse. Because for every up there's a down, for every in there is an out. Whatever you give out comes back to you. Whatever you put out into the world, into the universe, comes back to you. So I started doing things that would enrich the lives of other people. And the more I did that, the more my life was enriched. And any time in my life that I had given money away, it has come back to me. Now, what I've learned of late is that we must give into good ground. Give it somewhere where it's going to produce, where someone will do something with it. Now, if we give into bad ground where the money is not used appropriately or properly, or to do something to enrich the world or other people, I don't believe we get back the same harvest that we do if we give it to someone who doesn't use it good. I don't believe the harvest comes back as well. Now that's my belief, and of course, according to your faith or your belief, be it done unto you. So that may be just what. But then again, I have given to people who have not used it properly, and it still came back to me, but I can't say it came back multiplied as well as some of the other money I have given. We need to be prudent in our giving. Now, I think it's okay to give to poor people too, but the majority of your money needs to go somewhere, usually where you get your spiritual growth, or to people who have helped you. I give my money to certain organizations that have helped me become, how do I say, better or more. I don't like to say better because that implies that you're not good enough. Let me tell you, right now you are good enough. For years I spent my life thinking I wasn't good enough. I thought if I fought one more fight, if I won one more triathlon or another fight or another race, or just ran one more mile or worked out a little bit more here or sculpted my body there, that then I would be good enough. And then one day I was running and I finished and I thought, maybe I should run another mile. And I laughed at myself and I thought, well, would you be good enough then? So you're good enough right now. You're perfect right now. You may think, well, Mark, I got all these flaws and I screwed this up last night, or I got drunk last night and made a fool of myself. Well, guess what? That was exactly what you were supposed to do. You are where you're supposed to be right now, and that's perfect. I compare a life, my life, or your life to a rose. When is it perfect? When it's fully bloomed? Or when it's in the bud? Or when it dies and it's withering? Is it only perfect when it's fully bloomed? But how do you or I know when it's fully bloomed? We don't. We don't know the moment when it's fully bloomed or when it's starting to fade. We don't know that moment. That rose is perfect when it's a seed in the ground. There's the perfect idea of the fully bloomed rose when it's just a seed in the cold, dark ground. You may feel like you, you may feel like you are in the cold, dark ground today, but you are just as perfect. You have just as much potential as that rose seed in the ground. It's within you. You are the seed in the ground. Even though you feel like you're in a cold, dark place, you have awesome, amazing potential. But here's the deal. Only you can use that potential. Only you can act on your God-given desires. You would not have those desires were you not capable of fulfilling them. But you got to step out. You got to step through that fear. And fear is going to be your constant companion. You will never escape fear. I'll give you a small example. We did our second live podcast yesterday. I've been doing videos for over a year. I think I've did 350 or something like that. I was afraid. Part of me didn't want to do it. Then we started setting up the cameras. I was supposed to get a part in the mail from Amazon. So I looked on Amazon and it said, it's arriving before 10 p.m. Well, my podcast is at 7. Okay, we needed these parts so we could run all the cameras and all the mics. Well, it didn't come in. I said, you watch, it's probably going to come in while we're doing the podcast. And of course it did. After we finished the podcast, it was laying out there on my porch. That's okay. We'll be set up better next time. When I started this YouTube channel, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what a hashtag was. I didn't know what a thumbnail was. I learned that. My children taught me. So I have to humble myself and realize that I'm going to learn from my children or allow them to teach me. I don't know everything. My son Frank set up the podcast. He's doing all that. He's the sound man, the cameraman. He does all that. We each need the help of other people. No man is an island. I'm not and you're not. So reach out for help. And there are so many people out there that want to help you succeed if you want to put out the effort. But no one can help you unless you desire to help yourself. And you have to desire it enough to step out there into the fear. Everything you desire lies on the other side of that fear. And it's really just false evidence appearing real. Your fears are illusions. Actually, like the whole world is an illusion, but you create whatever illusion you desire with your thinking. Step through that fear. Back when I was a professional boxer, I was a great fighter. I sparred with world champions. I was as good as those guys were. In the ring, in the gym. And I was a good fighter in the ring in front of people. Some people freeze up when they get out there, but I didn't. Now, the difference between them and I was they understood fear better. They faced fear better. I allowed that fear to keep me in the gym training so much that I was hurt all the time. And that fear was so powerful before I would fight that it almost paralyzed me. But once I got hit, I was okay. But I did learn to overcome that fear. But by that time, I was 32 years old, and I was kind of tired of fighting. So I finished as an undefeated professional fighter. But fear, I didn't recognize it was fear. My coach would tell me, you don't need to come here every day. But I thought I did. He could see I was overtraining, and I was hurt and half sick most of the time. But that's a whole nother story. So remember, everything you desire lies on the other side of fear. You can have whatever you have the desire in your heart to achieve. It would not be there were you not capable of achieving it. I'm done. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.